Deontay Wilder signs with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn after years of feuding and going back and forth. I'm going to tell you right now, Al Haymon is punching the air. Just like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Boys to the Hood. He punching the air. And why that is? Because as much as he tried to monopolize and set things up, he has just now lost all of his power. Think about it for a second. You got Errol Spence. Errol Spence is not with PBC or Al Haymon. He has a whole new management. You know, people tried to ignore that, but it's the reason why he went to a new management before he made the Terrence Crawford deal. So he had to go outside of Al Haymon to do that. Okay. Not only that, you know how they try to keep the belts hostages over there. Okay. Well, that's gone. You know, as far as the welterweight division, that's one of his powerhouse guys. That's one of the pillars over there at PBC. So you can now count Errol Spence out or halfway done, or at least he's not working with Al as close as he did before, you know, and then we can move on. Then the next thing they try to have a stronghold on was the heavyweight division, because you have a stronghold on the heavyweight division, you got a stronghold on the game. And you know how they tried to babysit and police the WBC. We couldn't get it released from Deontay Wilder's hands. Now that is no more. So they lost their leverage in that. Okay. Now, on top of that, you got to look at their so-called TV deal, or, you know, broadcasting deal. You know, they can't seem to get nothing solid. You know what I'm saying? They have a nice roster, but they ain't got nothing on that either. So you lost Deontay Wilder, which is one of your big pieces. You lost Errol Spence, which was another big piece. And the only thing you holding on left to right now is the Gervonta Tank Davis. Everybody else is old and 1 foot out the door. All they are is a name. But as far as, you know, being a viable opponent, a tough opponent, you know, the Danny Garcias of the world and stuff like that, they're burnouts. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. The only thing they got over there is names. And to add on top of that, you can't pay the guys like you used to pay them. You don't have a platform to perform on really like that. You're not putting up no good numbers. You know, I say if they lose about 2 more valuable pieces, which would be David Benavidez and Gervonta Tank Davis, he's done. You know what I'm saying? He's done right now. You know what I'm saying? But I think eventually David Benavidez is going to understand that his partnership with Al Haymon is somewhat hindering his opportunities and what he can do. You know what I'm saying? But trust me, they don't want to let go of that because, you know, they need some kind of stronghold. But I think eventually he's going to be next, you know, if they can't do nothing with him. You know, I'm pretty sure Matchroom and Eddie Hearn can. So at this point, he's stripped down bare naked, and Eddie Hearn's over there having the last laugh. You know, it just goes to show that, you know, his business plan, it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't real. You know, you managed to piss off the boxing fans, the boxing industry, and everybody around it. Yes, the fighters was happy, but where are those fighters at now? They have no home. They not getting no fights. Ain't nobody hearing nothing from them. Your best pay-per-views is stuff that truthfully should be on free TV, and they know that. And nobody's going to get behind him or back him or give him a check for what he's been producing thus far. And the biggest fights in boxing, he couldn't deliver to you. Wilder versus Joshua, Crawford versus Errol Spence. He couldn't deliver those. Those had to be made outside of him, and one of them hasn't been made at all. We're in the process of making it right now. So that's 2 of the biggest fights in boxing that he could have gave the people that he didn't deliver. He's refusing to put Gervonta Davis in the situation that he needs. I mean, we just now getting a Frank Martin fight, but stuff like this is long overdue. So if anything, that puts a lot of power in Gervonta Davis' situation, because at this point, he could tell them to jump off a roof and they're going to have to try to flap their wings because they have nobody else. So that means he's the end all be all. So he's everything. So if I was him, I would use this opportunity. If I don't like something in my contract, or if I don't like this, or if I don't like that, he's now at a point where he can command whatever he wants because they ain't got nobody else. Gervonta Davis is the PBC ship at this point, you know, because he got nobody else. And to add on top of that, didn't they just lose Jaron Boots Ennis? Even though I know they say that he wasn't with PBC, but let's be real. You know what I'm saying? If you was with Steven Espinoza, you was with Al Haymon, and you was with PBC. Now you ain't even got that guy. You also lost that guy to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. So like I said, this dude is punching the air right now. The plan didn't work. Maybe if you listen to the fans, nobody's saying you had to do everything that we said, but maybe if you listen to the fans, you would have a leg to still stand on. But now you done burnt every bridge. You done gave the middle finger up to everybody. You didn't give us the biggest fights that we want. You sold us bullshit. You told us bullshit. You tried to block other good fights that could happen, hence Terrence Crawford and Sebastian, and you always doing that. Not only does he block us from seeing fights and stuff like that, he also block YouTubers and their content and get their shit taken down. I know this personally. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't do nothing but burn bridges. He lit a fire 360 degrees all the way around his ass, and now he's in the inferno right now. And I say good fucking riddance. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't deliver at least somewhat of what we want, then what do we have you for? Because not only are you not giving us the fights that you can give us that's up under your umbrella, but you reaching your tentacles out to stop other fights that could be made that we want to see that ain't got shit to do with you, just because you want to control some shit. So I say you made your bed to sleep in it. And I'm not even going to lie. I'm smiling from ear to fucking ear because it's a long time coming. And the quicker this dude fall down to ash, the better boxing would be. You know, I know some people don't want to believe it or something like that. I know Al Haymon gets a lot of flack because he's one of the only black promoters and stuff like that. And that's true. But what's also true is he was fucking up the game. He was making fucked up decisions. He wasn't trying to give us what we want. And at the end of the day, this is why he's losing all his fucking people. You know what I'm saying? He's swinging, you know what I'm saying, hitting the air left and right. And as he should, because you got to be one arrogant motherfucker to see that there's a hole in your ship and not want to try to plug it. You just going to keep on trucking along like you can make it across the Aegean Sea and shit like that with no fucking problems without going under. No, your ass is going under, and all them fighters to jump ship. They done found another boat to get on. They done found another captain to get behind, and it's just leaving them stranded out at sea right now. And all they got flying the flag is Gervonta Tank Davis. And you better not piss him off. You better do everything that you can. And if anything, they probably gonna tighten down a little bit more on his contract, so maybe so he can't go nowhere. Because if they lose him, they all but done because they ain't got nothing left. But that's exactly what you get for trying to play the game the way that you played it. In the end, you only played yourself out of position. And everybody else is realizing now, because when it comes to that check that needs to be cut, you ain't got it no more. Because you overpaid these dudes to try to monopolize the game, not give us what we want, try to control all the damn belts, and you just fucked up boxing at the end of the day. So, good riddance. Von Voyage, R.I.P. That's my thoughts on this. Like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Vane, I'm out.